I guess it's time we got to start talking for real. Hi.
Yo!
What up, MomoCon?
Sunday!
And that's how you hype up.
Thank you.
Goodbye. See you later. Yeah. So, what's this panel about?
Literally what you just said.
Literally
Okay.
what we're doing.
How to make a hype inning to your audience. I think there's a lot to say in just making people excited about the stuff that you're doing, whether it be, music, art, dance apology videos,
Everything.
anything and everything. And I think that that's really what sets you apart from everybody else, is how you hype. But I think everyone kind of has this vague, generic goal in their mind of just like, oh, how do I make it more hype? And then they kind of struggle with what the next step is. And I think a lot of what kind of comes to help you get to that next step is having a specific goal, having like a specific way that you want to hype. It also depends on your platform. Like these two guys are like the gods of just generating hype from just, ashes. Through, you guys just like, I feel like you guys really like founded the concept of like chat pits and like exploding a chat with emotes, because
You're right there with us, man. You're doing it just as good.
Bro, I just tell my chat to shut the fuck up all the time.
It's hype as fun.
I just keep calling my chat cringe, and then they just keep coming back
They
for
love
some
it,
reason.
though.
Yeah,
You guys love it, right? You love it when Jules does that.
my chat likes to be stepped on. I think and I think I do have a lot of confidence in the way that I can hype on YouTube, which like that comes down to a lot of
That's like marketing, right?
Marketing
advertising.
and pacing with your content. You don't want to like bust your whole load in the first 5 seconds, but you do want to create enough of a desire. I always tell people, like, you really want to catch somebody in the first 5 seconds of a video, because everybody is realizing that they have ADHD now, and can't pay attention for more than 5 seconds, as you can see with TikTok and everything else like that. So how do you do that? How do you capture somebody's attention, keep their attention, and then all the way to the end of the video, the end of the stream, because we live in a society, et cetera, of algorithms aren't anymore, they're not looking for clicks anymore. They're looking for watch time retention. So you will be pushed harder, you'll be advertised better by these platforms if you show them that your viewers are not only coming to your video or your stream, but they're staying there. Concurrent viewers is big on Twitch.
Yes. And like that right there is one of the main things. Like, if y'all have ever seen like the affiliateship or the partnership thing on Twitch, they're like, oh, you have to have 2 or 75 concurrent viewers in order to do that. And that's why that is one of the more important metrics that you watch whenever you're, pushing for that type of thing.
Otherwise, people would just be like, hey, look, this time that, somebody rated me, I had tons of viewers.
Yeah, I had 10,000 viewers for 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then they
But that right there is the thing. And that's another thing to remember is, like, the viewer count will ebb and flow. It will go up, go down, and, like, that is not really the end game. The end game is whenever you're trying to build hype and keep people there, it's what are you doing that's a little bit different than everybody else? Like, what are you doing that's making you stand out? Like, for example, whenever I moved my studio into my dad's garage, he had this really awesome beach wallpaper that was just perfect. And I'm like, yo, can I just put it in this corner right here? And he's like, yeah. So now I'm drumming on the beach every day.
Drumming on the beach.
Yeah, we've made that joke before. But whenever you're looking through on Twitch, like you're looking through the music section or whatever, you'll see like different people, they have like the crazy lights and stuff, or it will be like a dark, dank dungeon or something like that. But then you see this random guy playing drums on a beach. And I'll be the first to say that I created the beach meta on Twitch. I was doing it before anybody else.
True.
Not technically, but
Oh, man.
But it's like, what are you doing that's a little bit different? And what can you do to heighten that as well? Because that's the hook, right? That's what brings them in, and that leads to the second part, which is building the hype.
Yes.
Yeah, I think what's like important here to say too is that like the word hype is so easy to just be like, oh, hype. So that means I just have to like scream. like really loud, and
Is
just
that
be
not
like,
what that means?
like,
That's all I do.
oh my God, wow, and I think it's like important to clarify that, like, there's always, like, if that's just like the way you see it, it's going to be tough, especially if you're not naturally that way, because I'm not really naturally that way. I don't really just like yell super loud.
Yeah, I am too.
And I think a cool thing to mention would be that hype is something that the consumer of your content feels, but you as the creator can generate that hype without being like super obnoxious and loud and like just screaming and stuff. And I think it's cool to basically like discover what about you as a creator can generate that hype. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be making loud noises and stuff like that. Because you think about streamers that you watch, I mean, like, think about like the YouTuber that you're just addicted to
Yo, look
every
at this
morning.
hype entrance right now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hype.
Speaking of hype,
Hype.
yo.
Weep.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Hey.
This is how you generate hype. Take
Yeah.
notes, everybody. Hell yeah. How you doing?
Really tired.
You should just like run over here.
I'm crying because of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Oreo too. Oreo and Lalia.
Hype.
Yeah, for sure.
So while they're getting situated, I did want to add one more thing to the whole building hype thing. Think about a charity stream that you've watched, whether it be AGDQ or Zeldathon or TRG or anything like that. You're still laughing about hype?
Well, I just like it's so funny when somebody says hype and then nobody says it again. That's the antithesis of hype.
So think about that. It can be like a perfectly silent run, but there's a sense of need, a sense of necessity. Like, yo, we're raising money for something. That's hype in itself.
Yeah.
Like it's an urge. It is it's a feeling like, yo, let's do this. That's what hype boils down to. It is the want to move forward, I would say. And as a creator, anybody can create that, but in their own special way.
Yeah. I think that a really important thing is to ask what hypes you.
Yes.
Because like I think that that's something that you're going to be able to channel yourself. Like I feel like Jack, like you're probably not into streamers who just scream constantly. And,
Not
like,
usually.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
I do
when
it
I
for a
just.
living.
Yeah. It's on a creator to creator basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But like, I guess I'm just saying, like, don't feel the need, like, kind of like what you were saying, Jack.
Yeah.
Like, don't feel the need to hit this like archetypal hype, archehypal.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like that's just like such an important point because like not everybody has the same personality.
Yes.
So and I feel like that's one of the biggest like misconceptions with being an online creator, whether it's streaming on Twitch or making YouTube content, is like feeling like you have to be loud when you're not a loud person,
Yeah.
And I think a cool way to look at it, and it's something that I've been doing recently, is I'm kind of treating myself like a character a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's something that I used to be afraid of doing because I'm like, man, like I kind of just want to make my content and then just like go take a nap,
Yeah.
But eventually it really does become fun to try and explore your like, what do I, like what's me? Like what is my character that I play? And it doesn't have to be just you being like, hey, what's up? It's me, guys. Da da da. Like you can kind of like have fun with it, but you can also explore like you can kind of figure out like what's like an enhanced version of myself to where I can still be myself, but I can generate hype.
I feel like that's like the balance, because like a lot of people ask like, especially me, like, what's the difference between like Jules Conroy and Family Jules? Because they're like they would assume that there's a bit of a character that I play.
Yeah.
And I think it really is just kind of like Family Jules is just Jules Conroy, but with stat boosts on being an asshole and just like whatever. But like it's like you don't need to completely dissociate from yourself. I actually highly discourage that. I know a lot of like very, very big creators who have kind of really separated themselves from the character that they've created online, and then had trouble even figuring out like who have I become? Who is the real me and stuff?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think everybody has probably felt some form of that, like just by, you know,
Yeah.
you have different personalities with different friends, right? It's kind of the same thing. But what's cool about being online is you can channel hype that you like from people that you enjoy and get hyped by.
There's we've been talking about this throughout this weekend, and it's being able to stay consistent while doing it in moderation. Sustainability is what that is. And whenever you're putting on like a character, if you're you know, for hours at a time, that can be very exhausting. And that's not something that you're going to be able to keep up for a very long amount of time if it's not something that you're okay with doing with yourself, if that makes sense. Like for me, you can ask my wife, I am very loud and very excitable at all times. I don't have like an online persona. Maybe I'm a little bit louder while I'm streaming, and you know, I'm screaming a lot because I don't, you know, I'm not like, what's for dinner? You know, like I'm not going like that at the house or nothing. Most of the time, right? Disagree? Thanks, babe. Keep me humble. Keep me humble.
We have a
There's
heckler in the audience.
There's like a spectrum, right? Of just like, you don't want to be like so over the top that you just completely develop, you know, mental issues from the fact that you've dissociated from yourself completely. But you also like, nobody wants, well, what?
I said, too late.
Well, like, I mean, I feel like you also don't have to worry about it usually as much as you think, because you end up somewhere in the middle and you can usually just course correct, I think, unless you're in a psych ward. But like that is a course correction, that's true. But the other side of it is just like eating, you know, bagel bites, silently playing, you know, MMOs. Like some people might like that, but like that might not be the you that you want to put out there. Like it works for Asmongold, but like, I mean, you know, like that's kind of like a vibe that he's like created and cultivated over a long period of time, because that's something that he has been able to sustain. But like, I mean, I remember like I was emulating like a lot of streamers when I started on Twitch.
Yes.
That like,
and that's
you know,
okay.
It's okay, and it helped me because like I was emulating, you know, people like Wolf21 and Man vs. Game and stuff, and I very quickly realized like, okay, there's some parts of this that I can take from, but like, and that's what I think is important, because then like once you kind of get up to that whatever, then you can realize and steal and leave stuff, and then then that's how you become your personality.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from nothing, you know.
Because that right there is the most beautiful part of your stream or your YouTube channel, is that it's yours.
Yes.
It's your content. You're the one that's making it. You're making something. You're putting something into this world that did not exist before, whether it's a cover or an original or a stream. Like when you're live. Or
porn.
Oh my God.
Okay, Jules.
When you're live, you are bringing something into the world that can positively affect other people. And I think that right there, silliness aside, is the most hype thing of all, is the fact that you're able to positively affect another person on this planet, you know?
The friends we made
Oh, and
along the
I-
way. That's
Yes.
the true hype.
On top of that, like for the longest time, when I first started, my voice is really low. I just woke up, so like it sounded like a teenage boy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hype.
But yeah, like for the longest time, I just had an anime picture avatar for the longest time, and like when I started showing my face on camera, like for me personally, I struggled with body dysmorphia for a big part of my life, and so going on camera was a big step for myself to, you know, like myself more, you know, and be okay with it. But you know, in that journey, I ran into people saying, you know, racist, fatphobic comments, you know, running into those negative things. But in the end, like, it was so rewarding just to be my authentic self, instead of having this expectation for people to be like an anime titty waifu. Like, like I may be an anime titty waifu in IRL, but you know.
Well, like I think it's cool because like for both of you guys, like I think you've found the hype, just that's within yourself, if that makes sense.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just by being yourselves, you've I don't know, figured out what hypes people up.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially
People like it.
Yeah, like Oreo. Like I love like when you go on stage and you're kind of like. You're like, hello everybody, I'm Oreo, and then you like belt out those notes. It's like it's so cool and like it's so hype because it has that contrast, and that's another thing that we haven't talked about. It's like you don't want to be hype the whole time, because then that's the baseline,
Yeah.
and then
where do you go from there?
Right. So like I think that there's something definitely to say about like don't be hype, like having kind of like maybe like a hype, let it go down a little bit so that they can kind of feel the contrast and then hype it up a lot, I think is important too.
Take stretch breaks.
Yeah.
If you're streaming, like that's something we added in, and it allows for that, dip down for a little while, and then we get right back into the drumming action. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hydrate.
yeah, hydrate. Yes.
Hydrate.
Like,
Yes.
I have a command that it's not the waterboard the streamer command like everybody thinks it is. They're like, why aren't you drinking, streamer? I'm like, I just did. I can't. I'm going to explode.
It's not water. Jared's just drinking straight vodka
Yeah.
at this point.
So hydrated.
That's why my streams are so crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember them.
I was actually gonna I was gonna say something, and then Lalia like pretty much said it, and it just reaffirms the whole thing that like we were talking earlier about like being an enhanced version of yourself during your content, and sometimes it might be hard to ask yourself that question, like what do I bring to the table? What is my thing that makes me me, And I think a really cool way to go about it is to almost lean in to your own like insecurities, which kind of sounds weird, but I can just speak from experience that like when I was in high school, like I was just such a jerk, like all the time. Like not like I wasn't like that bad, but like especially with music and stuff, I would just be like, oh man, I'm so cool. Like I play guitar, I'm so awesome, And like it wasn't really like that offensive or anything, but I just remember I'm just like cringing at myself, just being like, oh my god, like did I really think I was that cool, like, And so I think about that, but I'm almost just saying, I'm like, well, there it is. That's who I am. I'm that like, Seto Kaiba like guitar player, like Shadow the Hedgehog ass guitar player, and I'm just like, let's just be that. Let's just be that cringe part of myself that's just like, oh man, like, I'm so cool. I play guitar. Like, I'm just the coolest guy
You're
ever.
pretty cool though.
Well, thank you.
You can channel it in a cool way. Like
yeah, but it's almost like I discovered that through. It's something that comes naturally, but it's something that I would try and like suppress. And obviously in normal life, I'm not going to go to the bank and be like, what's up? I play guitar. Like,
Hey, I have
like,
100,000
I'll have a double cheeseburger at the bank.
What's up? I'm an anime titty waifu.
Bro, I want to go to this bank.
Yeah.
that would be the hypest interaction for a bank teller. Just like, yeah, this dude came up, said he plays guitar, shred it up on the teller, and asked for a shake.
I made this $5.
God damn.
With my guitar playing, motherfucker. But when I'm streaming, I'm just like, hell yeah, let's just be that obnoxious, just like, I'm the shit guy,
I'm the shit guy.
Yeah, and then it's just like, but that's just me. But like, I could think of an example of like if someone is really like shy or something like that. It's like, there you go, just be that cute shy person, and people fucking love that shit. You don't have to be like. You don't have to not be yourself. Like whatever that part of yourself is that you're just like, man, I wish I could change that. Guess what? You're not gonna change that, and you're also gonna double down on that. You're gonna amplify that.
There is an audience for everything.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Yes.
So just be yourself, honestly.
Especially
like-
porn. So,
Yeah.
I've been saying
Do you know
this
from
all week.
experience?
I've been,
You
what?
need to just go ahead and get an OnlyFans.
I have an OnlyFans.
Jules,
You
do
heard
I
it
have
can't
here.
talk about it on Twitter.
Come on, promote it. Don't be shy.
I haven't posted anything. I'm very shy. But for the right donation. No, I've been saying it all weekend. Don't kill the part of you that's cringy. Kill the part of you that cringes.
Yeah.
Because I think it really starts showing you like, wow, like what's really valuable to me? Like is it trying to appeal to this giant audience that like you can't make everybody like you. So make you like you, and everybody who likes what you will like you for it. So like I
Write
think
that down.
the most important thing is like it just you can't be somebody else forever, but you can be somebody else in the beginning if it helps you figure out who you are. Because you're always going to hear this from panels, is just be yourself. It's great. It's going to be yourself. But then you're like, yeah, but I get bullied for that. I understand. So I think it helps to kind of like I said, like I emulated the streamers that I liked, and I found out what my streaming persona is. Like I think I would highly recommend that. If you're having like, we should definitely answer questions because I know there's going to be a lot of very specific questions to, like, for your kind of content, like what you're trying to do. But that's like my general advice is just be yourself, figure out what hypes you, and try to channel that. If you don't know what that is, figure out what hypes you up and try to emulate those people until people think you're a fraud and a copycat, and then change it slightly. That's what I did. Jared.
So I have a question for y'all. Who here does not enjoy the sound of their own voice?
I love your voice. All of you.
So
Well,
first
you
of
didn't
all,
raise your hand. Oh my God.
well, here's the
Look at this
thing.
guy. Look at this guy. Likes to bully
My
yourself.
God, listen, I've had to learn to live with my voice for 7 years. So the reason why I asked that question is I want y'all to tell yourself that you're wrong.
In your voice.
In your own voice. Now, let me tell you why. Because whenever you're doing, like, if you're doing singing content, especially streaming content, you're going to hear your own voice a lot.
Unfortunately.
You're going to hear your own voice a lot, and you're going to learn to love that. You're going to learn to love to hear yourself talk. Once again, let me continue. It's your branding. It's a part of your branding, is the way that you carry yourself, the way that you sound, the way that you speak, the way that you laugh. One of the main things that I used to get made fun of for in school was my laugh. I am exceedingly loud. Exceedingly loud.
He's very loud.
I'm very, yes, thank you. But that became something that I'm known for online because there are people that enjoy that part of me, you know? Like, you know, people used to always down me for like how I acted and stuff like that. And now that energy that I bring is something that has allowed me to make a living. So as Jules said, don't kill the part of you that's cringy, kill the part of you that cringes. Because, and that it, like, I love that statement.
Yeah.
Me too. I said it
Because-
at every fucking panel.
I want to steal that quote.
Do it. It's good.
Because the parts of you that you might not think are awesome, somebody else is going to think is like the world to them, and you're going to
Yeah.
inspire them to do their own thing as well with something that you can't stand about yourself. So love yourself. Like, allow yourself to just be yourself, and that's going to make the best content of all.
Yeah.
Based.
Snap.
do you guys want to add anything?
Yeah, well, I wanted to add on top of what you were saying earlier, where you didn't like yourself in the beginning, and so I started when I was a teenager, so obviously didn't like myself. Who likes themselves as a teenager, you know?
Jack, apparently.
Whoa.
And
my
you know, like the thing is, I had the misfortune of not being able to learn and have experiences, certain life experiences, in order for me to know better. And so when I joined a certain community, I joined a community of people that helped bring up, my following and all that stuff like that. I didn't know how to interact with people. And, for the longest time, like, I thought it was like, boo-hoo, it's about me. But then I realized, wait a second, I need to better myself because I want to like myself and be the most authentic self for myself and not for other people. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing when you're a creator. It's like, a lot of people think that if they, and, not just creators in general, but they have this idea that if they try to be the most authentic version of themselves, they'll become more likable by other people. Maybe that might be the case, but the important thing about being your most authentic self is that you like yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like yourself, that's going to reflect upon everything around you and every person around you, every relationship, every situation. I know from experience. And I do believe, like, change is a thing, like,
I think change is inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
it's important. And you know, I myself, when I like to stream, but I'm not like a Jake Paul kind of person, like, yeah, what's up, like whatever. Sorry, Jack.
Sometimes, sometimes you are. It depends if you're playing.
Hey guys,
14
it's
or
Jake
not.
Paul here. What's up, everyone?
Sorry. But like I'm very realist, like, you know, I'm very real, and like I don't like to bullshit. You know, I don't like to sugarcoat things, and I think that's why I've gotten in a lot of trouble in my
That's
life.
what makes you beautiful.
Cute. But you know, I think when I started kind of being okay with that and being like, you know what, I like this, being this realness, and then I started to attract those kinds of people into my life, and then I was like, okay. If people don't like me, and I'm not talking about like, well, you just can't handle honesty kind of person. That's like narcissistic bullcrap. Like, I'm not about that. I'm talking about like, you know, not trying to pretend to, again, be someone else and honeyed words and all that. Like trying to be nice and all that, because that's over, honey. Okay, we're not doing that anymore.
I think I want to add that it's okay to make mistakes. Like, we're all human,
Yep.
and this whole convention, I was actually really like worried about like how I would come off, because I'm pretty, like, I get really nervous easily and anxious, but a lot of people find that cute, and I was like, what the heck?
She's
like,
really cute. I love
yeah,
her.
and I have trouble wording things, and I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid, but like sometimes people find it funny, so it's like there's something about you that you might not like, but other people still like enjoy. So yeah, just be yourself, really. Because people are, like, there's always going to be an audience for just who you are.
And no one else can have that. No one else can have your personality.
Yeah, each and every one of you guys are, like, unique and special.
I just want to.
Seriously.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on.
I just wanted to add one more thing. It's just an example, and it's kind of like I am like calling someone out, but in an awesome way. But so I used to get made fun of all the time for saying hell yeah all the time. And I'm currently holding a fan-made thing that says hell yeah man on it that someone gave me.
Aww.
So get wrecked, everyone that made fun of me.
I got
Get fucked.
wrecked.
I'm
a
sorry,
post-it
Jack.
note
I just
saying,
knew it was best for you.
I got a post-it note from a fan saying you're so cool, and
Yeah.
like an uwu face, and I was like, oh my god, like I never see myself as a cool person when I look in the mirror. I'm like, I look at myself and I cringe, you know? Like there's always someone out there that admires you for who you
You're
are.
also really young, girl. You got a lot of life to live.
Should we do questions and stuff?
Yeah.
Line them up.
Come on up.
Who's got questions?
And we'd love to answer questions about maybe your specific content, maybe how to hype that up. We can help out if we can, or ask us whatever the hell you want.
We talked about food yesterday. Maybe dessert? No.
Well, that's still food.
Oh no, I'm hungry.
It's just better for you.
Yeah. What up?
What's up, dude?
It's a dangerous thing to go into.
Yeah.
As far as like going back to what you were talking about charities, I want to think more about like other special events like streamathons or streamiversaries, maybe other special things that may happen that are not the norm for different streaming or content creation and whatnot. What would you do to build a hype for those type of events? Would you change what you usually do? Would you try to add like different types of gifts, incentives, thank you.
Yeah.
And if you do, and if not, would you continue to stream or present things the same way that you would do in a regular stream?
I think Jared, you'd be probably good at this question.
So there's a saying, eventize your stream. Make every stream an event. Make every stream a little bit different. You can do, like, subathons are super hype, but God, they are not sustainable. They are not they will wear you out. 24-hour streams are weird. I will never do that. But like, what I try to do is I try to make because I can only drum for 3 hours at a time because, drumming's tiring. You take the moments that you have online and you make them the best that you can. And you can hype up an event like, I've been training for the Guilty Gear Strive tournament that we had here last night, which I got 49th in, and I'm very proud of that. But what we did was we made those gaming streams like, this is the road to MomoCon. I'm getting this, you know, like I was training and learning how to play the game, but we made it into a big special event. You can turn just about anything into an event. If you get like a new piece of equipment, it's like you can title your stream, "Oh yeah, we're doing something new today." Oh yeah, you know, you can hype that up just by there being a little bit of a change, letting people know about it, and then building on that. You know, you can make it
Also lie. Lie a lot in the title. That's what I do. Like if I was Jared in that situation, I would have been like training to be the best Guilty Gear player. Parentheses, so close, or something like that.
Hashtag busted.
Jules is a god at this.
Lying.
He is such a good liar.
But
Try
yeah.
playing Among Us with him. It's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the main thing I can say is eventize your streams or eventize your videos. You can set premieres on YouTube, which is something that I've seen you do. Like you can hype that up and have like, you know, countdown timers, get people talking about it. You can utilize social media and stuff like that. And yeah, just make it special in your own way, you know?
All right, cool.
Lie.
Lie. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. My question is, so I do a podcast, but it's just audio, and I want to move to doing it on YouTube. And I have so many questions. How do you get hyped for that? Like, how do you just
Highlights.
start?
That's the secret to podcasts is have highlights, because very few people will people love the long form content, but at this point it's so hard to fight
Yeah.
with short term content. So the
Right.
answer is you want to try to make short term content out of the podcasts. If you're going to video, that's usually pretty easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Like I've done a few podcasts in the past, and I've regretted not utilizing this.
Yeah.
But try to find parts of the podcast that make you laugh, or
Okay.
maybe people really, really enjoyed, and then just kind of like do the same thing that we've been talking about, where you lie. No, you make like a short clip of it, and be like, you won't believe what our take is on, you know,
Yeah.
And then
whatever.
share it.
Yeah.
Push it
Okay.
out there. Put it
Yes.
on whatever you would like.
Debunking the mystery
Yes.
behind.
Big buzzwords are great.
Yeah.
Debunking,
Yeah,
yes.
solve.
Okay, yeah, because
Yes.
I interview musicians and stuff.
Yeah.
And we just talk about whatever
Interviewing
crazy
the greatest
thing that comes
guitarist
up.
of all time.
Interviewing the worst type of people.
Musicians
No, you
are
can't say the
hard
truth.
to
You can't
work
say
with.
that. That's telling the truth.
Musicians are hard to work with.
Yes,
Scheduling
they
them
are.
for a
They're
freaking
horrible.
interview is like the bane
The
of
hardest person to
everything.
work with? Question mark.
Can't stand these.
Oh, you mean me?
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet y'all. I won't cap. I didn't know any of y'all when I first came here, but from the panel, I love all of y'all. Y'all are all very inspiring.
Thank you.
So
Thank
you.
I'm a musician. I produce, make beats. I talk a little shit on the mic every now and then, but all my stuff is very inspired by anime and video games, and I'm trying to figure out. Well, I should get to this first. So I post them on Instagram. I post snippets, this, that, and the third. I have 800 followers, but I'm still only getting like.
That'll be
maybe-
$300 for the promotion, by the way.
I am so sorry.
Oh my God. Continue. Sorry.
But no,
I'll listen to him.
Ignore him.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I can get to that demographic, but also be I like being a little secretive. I'm not necessarily insecure, but I just like kind of having my secrets and surprising people, not having to set expectations. So when they do come out, the expectation is like, whoa, I know he can do this. I'm trying to figure out, well, should I do this or this? Should I continue to be secretive, or still push my stuff out? I still post snippets at least once a month, do whatever I need to do and be social, or should I just swallow my pride and just push it hard, use hashtags and everything? Because I'm trying to get out there. I got the stuff. I know I can.
You're not alone in that. I mean, think about like Dead Mouse or something like that. You know what I mean? Like he has like a whole thing, and I think it's especially cool with like EDM and stuff like that. But you see it in all genres of music. Some artists do want to be separated from their art. They just want to be like a regular person. They're passionate about the music, but they're not like, oh, look at me, I'm the coolest, And I would recommend, I think that would be badass if you like kind of sat there with like a, you know, a D&D character sheet, and maybe you can just come up with like your own kind of character, you know, maybe it could be like, you know, it could be a virtual, like a VTuber kind of thing, or it could just be like a something that you wear or something. But I think that's a good way to kind of be like, hey, this is me when I'm, you know, this is me, the content creator, and then I can turn that off, and then I can go just be myself, the regular guy, you know. And I think it's something, it's a very viable option, you know, because like you're saying, like not everybody wants to make it about them. They want the art to speak for themselves. But the unfortunate reality is that like if you really want to blow up on social media, like people love the person behind the art, you know, but that person behind the art could be
another layer of mystery.
Another a layer of mystery, yeah. I think that would be sick.
Yeah, like I'd say just lean into it, man.
And also, remember that you hold the power of whatever you want to post. It's your choice. If you want to share it, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. Like, for example, I've been trying to learn how to draw. I don't post my art anywhere because it's for me, right? You can have stuff that's for you. You can have stuff that's for, you know, the internet. But you hold the power. And remembering that will, you know, keep you confident and being like, this is what I want to post. You know, this is what I want to share. And you can keep stuff for yourself if you want to. It's you hold the power.
I think I'm going to put my psychology hat on just for a quick second. Something I noticed was you said a lot of shoulds. Like, I don't know if I should do this or I should do that. Anytime you use the word should, I'd recommend asking why. Why should I do that? And just like, if you follow that through, I think you'll come to a lot of answers that are very, very interesting. So good luck, man.
Yeah, good luck.
you all.
Hello.
What up?
First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here. It's been amazing watching you all.
Thank you for being here.
So I wrote down my question, so I'm just going to read it. My friends and I have been making YouTube content for about 2 years now on an extremely small channel where we do a variety of gaming content. I feel like the quality of the content is really good and it should gain attention. The only videos that have blown up are like one-off videos that we don't really want to pursue. The problem is we can't seem to grow. We've tried self-promotions, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everything, but we're still stuck around 250 subscribers. What is there that we can do to actually reach an audience and grow?
Quality
say
does not
something?
equal views. It's unfortunately how it goes. Like, and you can really run that hamster wheel until you're crazy, but it comes down to a lot. I think you guys would be able to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just like you can be creative with your art and your craft, you can be creative with your marketing.
Yeah.
Because the fact that social media is one of the best ways to promote your business and your product, it's also like very extremely crowded and very saturated. And you know, the unfortunate thing is you may have low numbers for a while, and that's, you know, what sucks. But you know, like for instance, like the YouTube algorithm, for example, is good of a like a, you know, shit show, really bad. Whereas, you know, TikTok algorithm is much better, but regardless, it's still hard to go viral on both. You know, find what's unique to you. You know, what do you have? Like I like to say, find a community or like maybe like a big genre. What can you fill in terms of like, look at like your competitors or whatever. You don't have to say them competitors, but like the other people around you, and what hole or gap can you fill, you know, in that area, and be like, okay, so I'm gonna focus on this specific thing for a little bit, and if that doesn't work, try another thing. Literally, this career is like literally all about trial and error.
Yes.
Yeah, as silly as that is. Do you stream your gaming stuff at all?
We stream our recording because we don't have the technology or money to pay for recording software. So all of our streams are us recording for YouTube content.
Okay. Now I do want to ask. This is just a technical question. Do you record your streams while you are streaming them?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because that'll be better quality recordings and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was my nerd brain.
I'm not. It's my friend's channel, so he does all of that. So
Gotcha.
I'm speaking for him on this.
Oh yeah,
So.
no
Yeah,
problem.
for sure. I think it's funny, like the whole like competitor thing, because like I think there is a lot of comparing yourself to, you know, other people. I'd say like The best thing to do is not compare yourself to other channels that are like, you know, wildly successful, because you're just gonna get depressed. I'd say like find other channels that are like around your size and kill them.
Wow.
No, I mean,
In game. In game.
Find other people like that are and see what's working for them. Work with them. Like, don't work against them. Work with them, I think, is what I would say.
Like collaborate?
Like what?
Like collaboration?
Oh yeah, like collaboration. You said that, like, you actually like said something that rang true to me, where it's like you have like a lot of like constant stuff, but there's like one-off videos that tend to do well, and you don't really want to pursue them.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with that a little bit with I'm making minor versions of Mario Kart themes right now, and those videos just fucking pop off. And I'm just like, okay, there's only so many Mario Kart songs, so it's like same thing with the doorbell thing. There was only so much I could milk the doorbell for, and I think I milked that cow dry. Let me tell you. But that there is a way that you can kind of maybe compromise with that. Like, kind of see, like, if something does blow up, see if you can kind of like slowly turn it into a direction, into something that you enjoy.
The thing is, it's just totally different than the content we do.
Right.
So that's the problem.
It's tough too, because like typically it's actually either detrimental or the answer to do something that's wildly different from the main content of the channel, because either that's hype or people are like, huh, you know. But like sometimes that's the stuff that pops off, is the thing that's like really, really different. So I don't think.
But it can also make you depressed. So just
right, yeah, and like you don't want to chase virality for sure. Like, I will always say that, because like that seems like what everyone's always trying to hit, the big thing that's going to get millions of views, right? But if your channel isn't like a 1 million subscriber channel, you're going to get those 1 million views and then never get it again. And it's not actually going to, you know, knock you into this like golden zone of content creation that it feels like before you hit it.
Honestly, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Because like,
it's a different time frame for everybody. It doesn't, just because you have low numbers now doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The number's going up, right? 251 tomorrow, 252 the next day.
Hopefully.
Those are people that dig your stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and like
And they're
that's
sharing
cool.
it with their friends.
Exactly.
Like I could definitely do stuff that's gonna blow my channel up, but like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Cause,
Yeah.
I
like,
feel
'cause I
that.
want to do
It's
what I
hard to
wanna
it's
do.
hard to like literally hype stuff up that you don't care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why I don't do a lot of like Toho stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I like the music, but
Following the
like
trends.
I've never
Oh my
really
God.
played Toho, you know, so it's kind of hard for me to figure out how to hype that up.
Yeah. It's a balance. Keep doing
It's
what you're
balance.
doing. Read the comments. You know, if people are like,
No, don't read
"This is dope," you're like, "Okay, they like that." Just keep doing it. Like the people will come. You know, they'll tell their friends and stuff, and it's exponential. Like, you know, the 250 will turn 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. You know, it'll happen. Just keep doing what you're doing, and don't compromise. You know, and you'll get it.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
Hey all, hope Atlanta's treating you guys well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This
this
one-
is sick.
Nice.
Just had a quick question when I got up here. 8-Bit, who do you main in Guilty Gear?
Oh, Potemkin.
That's a shame.
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me. All I can do is bust, and it
We're getting
sucks.
controversial up here. People are, like, jumping
Wait,
out
who
of
do
their
you main?
chairs.
Geo, so I miss a button and I get blown up.
Well, that is my wife's main, so she approves. So it's good. Pupper's
I want to
best
see this
pupper.
matchup then. Like,
He's gonna kill
I
me.
mean, I have my fight stick. We can run it, but like whatever.
yeah, that's
But
the rest of the panel. It's just these two guys going head on Guilty Gear.
But my real question is, I'm a music producer, composer, and DJ, and I don't really think a lot of my stuff it would be considered like super dynamic or sexy to stream or show like visually. I boast like videos, like visuals and stuff like that, but not really streaming it. So it's kind of hard to see how I could turn that into something that's quote unquote hype for an online audience to watch on YouTube or Twitch. So I guess I'm just kind of figuring out what exactly I can do to sort of present that to people and get them excited about or want to care about things that I make.
Do a cover.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, some of the
Spend 10 years
biggest
doing
channels
covers.
like on Twitch I see are like DJs. Like, they get front page a lot, and like the only thing that I think sets them apart is two things usually. It's like green screen with memes behind them and cool lighting. So learn a chroma key, put yourself in front of a green screen, you know, put up some Wario screaming, curse Megalovania memes behind you while you're doing your DJ set. I have a kind of a hack for like making lighting that just looks like ridiculously cool without like too much knowledge. I use you can use like hue lights, or I use LifeX lights, and I get those like really cheap things from Home Depot that you use, like the work clamp lights that you clamp on things, and I put the LifeX light in that, and it has an app that just makes the lights like change and randomize. Yeah. And like every time that like I get Jack downstairs to do like a music stream with me, he's just like, dude, I feel like I'm at a concert. It's sick. And I'm like, I don't. It's so idiot proof. So like there are like really, really easy ways to get like really professional looking lighting and stuff without having to like hire a guy.
A little bit of atmosphere goes a long way.
Yeah.
Trust me. And if you are like, if you're working with like just a regular camera, like if you're working with a webcam or something like that, like $20 lights, like a nice like good pair of lights will turn that camera into like a DSLR, because lighting is so much more important than you think it is, and it makes it a lot easier for the camera to work and get the frame rate that you need. So are you doing performance, or are you doing composition and like putting it together on stream?
Pretty much composition, putting it together, but DJ would be performance.
Gotcha. So you're gonna be doing both. That's wonderful. So atmosphere, number one. While you're working, like it might be a bit quiet. You're just working on the stuff. Have some extra stuff that allows for people to interact. Like have some alerts, have some channel point redemptions and stuff like that if you're doing it on Twitch. And just stuff that makes you laugh, because if you're having a good time, the chat's going to be having a good time.
Yeah. Okay. And I wasn't memeing too when I said do a cover, because like I feel like, because they're talking about like the visual element, which is certainly important, but I also think like with the audio as well, because you said it was kind of like anime and like video game inspired and stuff. Like that's the golden ticket, and that's how we even got to this point. Like with us is like anime and video games by nature are just so hype.
Yeah.
And like, the fan bases for anything, like all these games, like are just, they pop off whenever, you could play the first 3 notes from Megalovania or like Ken's theme and people are going to lose their shit. So like, if you're doing like a DJ set and like, you just sneak that in, people are going to lose it, So I think like you can lean into that a little bit. You can throw in some references and just be like, who got that, and that, cause I mean, me and Jules do that, and Jared as well. Like we all do that. We just throw stuff in, and people love that. So I would definitely recommend doing that as well.
Yeah, I did do Electric Zoo from SpongeBob and mix that in with a J. Cole song, and that was pretty fun.
Oh,
hell yeah! That sounds hype as fuck, dude.
That's great.
Can I say one thing too?
Keep doing that,
this, dude. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just figure out what your community wants. What they're about, what games they like, and stuff, and just like freaking troll them.
Have fun with it.
Well,
too.
speaking of trolling, one of my most like crackhead energy things do the best, unfortunately. Even like the low quality stuff. So like experiment. For my channel, I like to do this thing called a vibe check, where I will post high quality stuff and all of a sudden just random like, why did you upload that? To see if they vibe. They vibe with the energy, and just like okay, so I did this like acapella of the Me Shop theme, but saying yeet. And like that did really well and like better than some of my other stuff. So I was like, people remember me more for that than.
I mean, I'm sure that y'all have seen the Big Chungus song or heard it. Yeah. I'm sure that most of y'all have. And like, I mean, that's a meme, right? That's a meme, but it pops off because people think it's hilarious. And it was really, really, whatchamacallit at the time. So you can lean into that as much as you would like to. And just seriously, it's all about just having fun with it and seeing what you can kind of get away with in the weird like parts of it. So yeah man, but it seems like you're like on the right path, on the right track to doing it right. And
just be shameless.
Yeah.
No. Well,
be a shameless meme lord.
Yeah.
It really goes a long way.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Very
man.
much appreciate it.
Yeah.
God bless.
We should probably go fast.
What we're running out of time?
We got 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, 10 minutes.
Lightning round. Let's get it.
Well.
Okay. We've talked about how you build hype during the stream. What about before the stream?
Oh God. That's like the hype, like, okay. The time before streaming and the time before filming a video for YouTube is literally my least favorite part of the entire process, because it just feels like such a, like, it feels like such a, like, mammoth task that I'm about to do. Like I'm about to do a multi-hour stream, and it's going to be exhausting. And there's going to be so like, am I going to be funny? Am I going to be cool? Are people going to donate? Like I'm thinking about all of this stuff. Like with the video, it's just like, am I going to look cool, or am I going to look like a fucking loser in front of his mirror trying to pretend like he plays guitar? Like it's legitimate thoughts that I have, and something that. It's almost like maybe I'm so far back that like hyping myself up before it's like that's probably down the road for me. But for me, kind of dealing with that like overwhelming feeling is actually breaking it down and being hype about the individual parts. Saying like, yeah, this is gonna suck, but I'm pretty excited to film the lead guitar part. That like there's a cool solo that I think is cool, and I'm gonna make a stupid face during it or something like that. Just one thing that I can be hype about, and I focus on that thing. Because in general, this is a problem with people with ADHD in general, which I don't have. I don't have ADHD. I've learned that very clearly. But what happens is when you have that, you have an issue with executive functioning, which is your ability to break down tasks. So that tends to be a problem with creatives in general, but it's also a problem with a lot of other people. And what I do to help people with that is try to help them break it down, try to say it's like, this is a main quest, right? This is the main quest line. You have to do the stream, right? What are the mini like quests, the chapter quests to get there? What's the first one? And when you start breaking it down to that, I think it gets easier to hype yourself up for, because all you're worrying about is just like, I got to set up a tripod. Okay, tripod's done. And then, now I gotta film the part. Just like give yourself that like dopamine rush of like, I did a thing. That was awesome. And I think the more did a thing you do, like the more dopamine hit that you get, I think you get hyped just naturally from that.
So another thing to keep in mind specifically for streaming, if you are consistent and have a schedule, let's say you start at 4 o'clock, 3 days a week. The people, like if they know that you're going to be there and they can plan their time around it, they will hype up for you. They will be in the chat before you get there, talking, interacting with the people. Like we have a couple, I'll give a shout out to, there's a gentleman named Zals who hangs out in my chat, and he literally, I had to tell him to stop doing it once I go live, but he says hello to everybody. Literally everybody in my channel before I go live. Yes. And he's known for that, right? Like, and he's a big part of the community. He does he helps out with the game nights and stuff in the Discord now. And if you are consistent, if you have a schedule that you can like let people know and you will follow, they will hype it up for you as well. And seeing them in the chat, that right there can be a definite boost to morale to be able to hit that start streaming button and just have a good time. Also, I don't recommend having a long timer after you press start, the starting soon screen, let it be one song and then go. Or let it be a couple minutes, then go. Don't do like a 5-minute, 10-minute thing. It's like, oh, we're getting ready. Here we go. Still getting ready. Why are we waiting so long? There's like that right there. Just go for it, because that can also, you can psych yourself out with that as well. So play a quick song from a video game that you like or a song that you have the license to play, and then get into your content and just have a good time. But consistent scheduling can really help out with that.
I know we're lightning round, but I was actually gonna say like the opposite.
Oh yeah?
Because actually I'm not hype when I hit the start button, but I have like a starting soon screen, and I'm usually like, here we go. But then when I see people in the chat start talking and be like, yay, Dad's home, like that's what gets me hype, and I'm just like, all right, okay, we can do this, So I hope that helps. Does that help?
Yeah.
That answers the question. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi again.
Hello.
So I'm a VTuber and a music producer for context, and I was wondering, to avoid the bore of a majority of the trial and error of music production, do y'all suggest I pre-write certain parts to get the ball rolling, or would that take away from the experience?
That's them. I play stuff live. So
maybe.
Sorry. So you're saying you create music, like you do production streams, and you're asking, should you have things kind of narrated?
Like should I have like the drum part and the chorus or the intro?
No,
already?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I've actually debated the same thing, but it takes away from the feeling of
it's
like
new.
you're there.
Yeah.
So like the solution there is, if you want it to be hype, you gotta make it hype.
Yeah.
Like, because I literally will sit there and like MIDI out guitars, and it's the most boring shit. But I'll just be like, yo, chat, like, what's your favorite animal? Like, what animal would win in a battle? You know, like, or just shit like that, you know, just like stuff like that. Just you like write down what the boring parts are, the stuff that you're thinking about cutting.
Sure.
And then before you start your stream, think of some random questions
Gotcha.
to just ask the chat, to just be like, while we're doing this boring stuff, like, everyone tell me your favorite color and what color would win in a battle. You know?
Yeah, and I got
Like,
you.
It's all about chat interaction whenever
Yeah.
you're doing stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
So, but keep it all there, because everyone they want to be a part of the whole experience. It would shatter the immersion of it if
I
you
got you.
cut
All
it.
right. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Yo, what up?
Food, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Food's good.
That was yesterday's panel.
Yeah. Let's change the question a bit. Favorite and least favorite music genres?
Music genre?
Yeah, like is it rock?
Favorite
or-
genre, death metal. Least favorite genre, death metal.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody hates death metal as much as death metal fans. I don't like saying a least favorite genre, because I'm sure that there's something I like in there. Like I would say like, oh, I don't like country, but there's country songs I like. You know, my favorite band, Avenged Sevenfold, has written country songs. Say my favorite. I'll just say my favorite genre. It's melodic death metal.
Okay.
Favorite genre is video game music, literally any of it. Mostly the stuff that has like an electronic feel.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give my least favorite because I don't want to crap on anybody else's good time, because
It's
everybody
Family
has their own
Jewels.
opinion.
That's his
so.
least favorite.
Yeah, can't
My
stand
man
Family
saying
Jewels.
he's a
No
genre
pressure.
of music. Wow.
I mean, Megalovania is a genre now.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Yeah.
Doorbell music.
Doorbell music. That's okay. That's it.
my
Doorbell
fa-
music's
that's
my
my
least
least
favorite.
favorite.
Yeah.
There could be doorbell creators in the crowd.
Lolly, what about you?
I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I hated country, but honestly, I've heard some bop in country.
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, dude. Music is rad. You know. But thank you. That was sick.
You're welcome and thanks.
I was gonna ask, what cameras do you guys use, like for YouTube and Twitch, and also what mics?
Yeah, we can just run down really quick. I feel bad saying this because it's very expensive, but I use a Lumix GH5S for my 8 videos. But I used a Canon T3i for like a decade, and it got me through, and it was fine. It was great. I could do a lot with it. For streams, I used to use just the C9?
C920?
C9, I think the C922X is the one that I was using.
Yeah.
But now I use a Lumix GH5S. And then mics, Shure SM7B. Don't need a Shure SM7B.
T2020.
The AT2020 will do, yeah.
I use a Sony A6000 for my stream now. I was using a C920, literally industry standard. And the microphone I use is a AKG C520. It's a little headphone mic, and it's really, really good for around $100. For streaming, I use a Blue Yeti, and I'm probably going to upgrade to that cool new Razer mic because I have one that's just sitting in my closet.
Yeah. I use a Canon M50, and it's actually really dope. It's only like, I think it was like $700, $800. And I was gonna say like, I'm learning myself a lot about videography and cameras, and what I've learned is that if you have a budget for something, like for videography, spend 80% of it on lighting.
Yes.
Because lighting is like, you could literally have like a potato for a camera, and if your lighting is sick, it's gonna look amazing. But also you can have like a GH5, and if your lighting sucks, then it's gonna look really bad.
Yeah.
So you could definitely, like, the Canon M50 is a solid, like, affordable camera. So like you could spend probably $500-600 on a camera, and then just go super hard with lighting, and it's gonna look sick.
Yeah.
And AT2020 for mic for sure.
Well, the question was like camera and mic.
Yeah.
So for cameras, since I like to, I like to look very spicy, very hot in my videos, okay? Like, I ain't gonna, So I like to make sure that my lighting's good, and I agree, like, lighting is, like, really important. But also, getting a good tripod is so important because, like, I like having specific angles and making it, kind of messing around. And props, too, honestly, really important. I know it's not camera related, but, like, you can have, like, a basic camera, but again, like good lighting and like good backdrop and everything is really great. And also like makeup and clothes, or if you want to do those things, you don't have to. But there's a lot of more that goes into it. And then for my, what was my mic again? Was it like a Shure KMS-44 or whatever is it called? I forgot what it was called. So.
We can talk gear like all day.
Yeah.
We love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we do the last two?
Oh, hi. Is this working?
Cool.
Yeah, what up?
What up?
I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I've been thinking for a few years of possibly getting into content creation, but I haven't actually started yet. And I was curious if you guys would recommend either YouTube or Twitch in particular, like starting out as a beginner.
Twitch.
Twitch is really good because it's easier to build a community there. It really depends on what type of content you're wanting to make. Are you wanting to do a live performance or a live gaming type deal, or are you wanting to make edited and like planned content and stuff like that? They're both very good for two different things, but the cool thing is that you can utilize both. If you do Twitch, put your highlights on YouTube, bring people to your Twitch, and then you can talk to them there. But Twitch is my answer.
Yeah,
Twitch is my answer.
Twitch is gonna get your skills up. It's like that's like the battlefield. That's where you go, and that's where you become the content master. And then YouTube is like the bulletin board. That's where you find the fans.
That's a great way to put it.
So like
that's really good.
So yeah, like YouTube, like you got to do both, unfortunately. But like YouTube is like a slow kind of like you plant the seed and it slowly grows a tree. Twitch is like you're in there, So it's
crack
I would do
trees.
both.
They just go straight up.
Yeah.
The tree.
So they're both different and they both kind of synergize with each other.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Also, quick thing. If you've been thinking about doing it for a couple years now, go for it. Like
when you get home from here, just go live.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
go live right now.
The sooner you go, the sooner you do it, the sooner you'll get all the beginner suck out of the way, and then you'll get good faster.
And just enjoy it, man. It's an awesome ride. It gets stressful at times, but it's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So enjoy yourself doing
Enjoy
it.
it.
Well, thank you very much for the advice.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm just
And
kidding.
then last question.
Yes.
I am an anxious mess right now.
You're good. You're
so I
good.
wrote down the question I had. I'm someone who does 2D art and wants to do speed paint soon, but haven't had the courage to start uploading, even though I have things ready. And I'm specific with that, but more generally, are there any pointers for getting past that anxiety and uncertainty?
Porn.
Damn it,
I am
Jules.
17.
I've always,
Don't
Yikes.
listen to him.
Yikes. Oop.
remember. Anyway.
I feel a twit longer
Remember
coming.
earlier when I
already
said like
typing.
I was saying earlier like it's kind of a meme, but it's also kind of true. Like I'm like the anti-hero like Vegeta, Seto Kaiba, like Shadow the Hedgehog guy. Like, and I firmly believe that like if you're making art and you're just putting cool stuff out there and you're holding and you have that, like you're just awesome objectively. Like you are cool.
So far, I've only been sharing it with friends online. I've got like a art Twitter, which I've left deprecated. I started an Instagram, which I want to start uploading on, but I've not been very courageous. I'm anxious about doing too many hashtags or not enough hashtags, all that stuff. It's
Just lean into that. Just be completely just like F you, like, here's my art, it's awesome. Even if you're like literally lying, like if you're self-conscious about it, just like literally just make it up. Just be like, I'm the shit. Here's my art. F you.
Well,
like,
Well, here. I'll solve your anxiety just right now. So you said hashtags, right? What would happen if you didn't put enough hashtags?
it may not get inside of the algorithms like on Instagram is the main thing, which I'm thinking.
Is that within your control?
Not exactly.
So then why are you worried?
I just get anxious very easily.
So you get anxious about it, like, and you're worried about the outcome of, what will happen. What are the potential outcomes that could happen?
Just no one seeing, I guess, would be the only ones.
Well, then you could just make another one.
A negative.
You can make another one. I mean, that's what we do. Like, we make a lot of shit that nobody watches.
Yeah, I mean, like, and we're sitting here just being like, here's how to fix every problem. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, we all struggle with this stuff too. So
yeah,
like, we're kind of
what helps me is really like a lot of what happens with anxiety is you say like, I'm very afraid of this because I don't know what's going to happen. If you actually follow that thought all the way through, it will actually start to kind of deconstruct this like amalgamous like shadow of the Colossus beast that is the I don't know that you're worried about. Because the bigger that monster is, the bigger it's just the more you're not the level to beat that monster, but you're always the level to be able to climb up to it and figure out just where the weak spot is and go blah 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 like. But just by breaking it into smaller and smaller tasks, and just by I really really urge you, like, follow through with those worries. Like, if you say the words should, ask yourself, why should I do that? If you say, like, I'm afraid, why are you afraid? What's going to happen in the worst case scenario? The best case scenario? It's usually going to be somewhere in the middle,
And
So good luck.
You have a unique skill that no one else has. I mean, your art is your art.
Yeah.
You've honed
and
that.
And
it's yours. Own it.
And honestly, like, I don't know. I'm very passionate about this kind of stuff because it's just like you. The world needs to see your art.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much BS online. There's so much negativity. And, like, anybody who can create something that can make someone's day, I feel like they, like, need to put it out. Like, it's important, So, like, just try and, like, just tough it out and just put it out, and just go for it.
And remember, it's your choice. You have the power to post or not to post. You can keep it for yourself or you can share it. That is completely up to you. And you have the right idea for Instagram and stuff like that. You can look up, if you would like to, SEO or tips for Instagram and stuff like that. It sometimes helps.
I've been tempted to post on TikTok, but I'm not someone that actively uses TikTok.
Yeah, no, I don't like TikTok, me personally.
And that's fine. Like, if you're not like into TikTok, don't feel like you should use TikTok.
It's just that I've heard all the entire thing of like, oh yeah, if you want to get more followers, a lot of people have managed to get big following through TikTok.
It's a lot.
Don't even worry about
like,
following. Like, it sounds like we're like jumping ahead. It's just like just get that first, like, just put it out there, get over that hurdle, and then when you'll start feeling you'll start feeling the addiction to it, because you're gonna get those comments and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, there.
Do the content that you like to do that you could do forever on the platform that you could do forever.
Yeah, Instagram is great for art, having like a gallery and stuff, and for promotion. There are a lot of really awesome art communities on Instagram. And just go for it, man. You got this. You absolutely got this.
It's gonna be sick.
Yep.
All right, everybody, that was the anime porn panel. Let me hear you! Lie, cheat, steal. I'm Family Jewels. Bye.